Joining me now from Simi Valley, California, editor of California Political News and Views and former candidate for the California Republican Party chair, Steve Frank. Steve, would I be overstating it if I said right now from the little bit that I know, and I'd like to hear more obviously from you, but the California Republican Party is bankrupt right now. It's bankrupt possibly almost financially as well as ideologically speaking?
Well, let me just give you the numbers. It's good to be with you, Graham, today. It's the Republican Party on May 18th had cash on hand of $343,000, as opposed to the Democrat Party having $11,700,000. And that's just the beginning of the problem. The donors no longer trust the Republican Party to stand for what it usually stands for instance, low taxes. We have coming up on January 1st, 2020, up to 72-cent gas tax increase, 72 cents, thanks to 7 Republican members of the Assembly that voted for that.
Wow. So we look at those financials, the financials that you just mentioned. They're worth another look, and that is the cash on hand, $11.7 million versus $343,000. And I laugh because, well, you can burn through $343,000 pretty quickly if you're doing your jobs. But these big donors, I want to drill down a little bit about that. The big donors are not coming to the table, obviously, right now, if you have that little cash on hand.
Well, not only that, but in the past 2 election cycles, state chamber of commerce people, large corporations have started giving significantly more money to the Democrat Party than the Republican Party, because the Democrats are in control of the governorship. They have control of the legislature, Assembly and State Senate, and now they have a supermajority. So if you're a business person, do you want to poke a Democrat in the eye by giving money to the Republicans?
Well, but there, you can't give up, right? As a member of the Republican Party, you're not going to raise the white flag. And so there's got to be an effort underway. I hope there is in the great state of California for voter registration. And that costs money to get the word out, to get the word out about the Republican Party, especially to Hispanic voters in California. The Republican principles should, I underline should, line up with Hispanic voters, and I don't like to look at people that way and pigeonhole them, but let's face it, a lot of people do. But at the same time, you also have to deal with these things like ballot harvesting, right? And being able to issue an absentee ballot a week after the election. All those things rolled in together, there's got to be a battle plan, and that's going to cost money.
Well, the sad part is, it is now June of 2019. For the last 6.5 years, the California Republican Party has registered 0 voters. It has not had any voter registration plan in 6.5 years. They claim they're going to have one. And what I've been doing is working on a grassroots basis, which goes back to your money thing. Let's not go after the corporations. Let's look at Donald Trump as the way to go. What he did was not raise hundreds of thousands from corporations. He raised $10 and $15 from individuals, and he raised the money from real people, not the big corporations.
Okay, so this is the financial side of things. Now let's look at the moral bankruptcy. What I call moral bankruptcy. You have a new leader, a young lady. I think she's even a millennial. Who's been elected, Jessica Patterson, the head of the Republican Party. Unfortunately, not all, but some of her policies seem to go against the grain of what it used to mean to be a Republican. And for a little icing on the cake, correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, but apparently she's telling candidates in California to just simply ignore President Trump and his policies at best, maybe at worst, reject them.
That's correct. Recently, in a trip to San Diego, reported in the San Diego Union Tribune, she said that she's advising candidates in California to ignore the president and talk about what she calls California issues. Well, the problem is, once you say that loudly, as she has, she's telling the Trump voters, don't be a Republican. Don't vote for Republicans, and that harms. Plus, there's a platform platform fight going on at this point, and her people who put her into office now trying to take out the pro-life plank. So they want to tell the pro-life people in the party to leave.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.